Hello everyone, welcome to Nurse Bestie Explains. Today we start with the other topic from the nursing research, that is review of literature. This is mostly unit 2 in your research syllabus. Okay, let's see the review of literature. Coming to the definition of review of literature, we have already seen in the steps of research process. The second step is review of the literature. You already know what it is. Okay, the definition is a literature review is an account of what has been already established or published on a particular research topic by accredited scholars and researchers. Okay, a literature review means it is an account of related to your topic which you have selected about this topic which is already established, some knowledge which is already established in the books or published, some articles are already published or researches are already published on particular this your selected research topic by accredited scholars, some good accredited scholars and researchers, the previous researchers. Okay, that is called as a literature review. A literature review is an account of, please give a reading along with me. A literature review is an account of what has been already established or published on a particular research topic by accredited scholars and researchers according to University of Toronto 2000. Another then importance of a review of literature. What is the importance of review of literature? Why it is a very important step in your research process? Identification of a research problem and development of research question. To identify the research problem also. Some researchers usually start their research with some selected topic. Already they select from their previous experience or from the present place where they are working. If they find any problem, they select that as a research question. But in some cases who have no clue how to proceed, which topic to select, to identify the research problem also you can use the review of literature. And the development of the research question, how to frame the question, you can take the help from review of the literature, previous literature. Then generation of useful research question or projects or activities for the discipline. To continue your research, to generate a useful research question. Okay, just having problem in our mind is not enough. In previous video we have seen formation of a problem statement with variables, population, the setting where you want to conduct, what type of study it is, descriptive, exploratory, experimental study, comparative study. So like that, keeping all the aspects in the research question and formulating a problem statement. For that also review of literature will be helpful. Next, orientation to what is known and not known about an area of inquiry. Okay, you have selected a topic. You want to inquire about the topic by doing research process. So to get an orientation about this selected topic, that means example, anemia among adolescent girls in a selected village of Karnataka. Okay, if that is the topic, already you can orient yourself with what is known about anemia among adolescent girls and what are some things which you do not know about that topic, that you will come to know by doing review of literature. Then discovery of unanswered questions. You can discover the unanswered questions about some subjects, concepts or the problems. If you read the previous literature about the topic, some unanswered questions you can identify, some subjects which have no clarity, concepts or the problems you will come to know. Next, identification of a relevant theoretical or conceptual framework for the research problem. Theoretical framework, research method, how you have to continue your research. For that guidance also you need a review of literature. It helps in planning, methodology and development of research instruments. This review of literature helps like it is a blueprint. Already someone has done, you can use it or take it as a guide or reference to frame the research methodology and development of research instrument, that is tool Okay, you want to gather some information. For that, you prepare a test to conduct pre-test, post-test. One tool you will prepare. That is nothing but instrument with 30 or 40 questions. Okay, that is called an instrument. You want to prepare that instrument, that tool. You can take reference from the review of literature. Next, identification of suitable design and data collection methods. To identify for your study, if you have taken a descriptive study, what type of design you have to follow and what type of data collection methods which you have to follow related to your research topic. You can get that information from the review of literature. Next, purposes of review of literature. What are the purposes? To focus on previous research, okay, provide overview and critical appraisal of past and current thinking, ideas, policies, and practices. You can see the previous studies how they have conducted, and now you can conduct both. Any advancement is there, any change in the present thinking, your ideas, any policies or practices have changed, that you can focus. Show how your study fills the gap. You can also show that previously done research, any incomplete or unsolved problems are there in your research. If you have solved those problems, how you have filled those gaps, any gaps, those you can clearly notice. Provide a basis upon which to make critical decision regarding the direction of the research. Then the necessity and rationale of your study. What is the need for your study and the reason why you are conducting that study? What is the rationale for conducting that study? Is that topic really important to the society or the field of nursing or the science? Or does it make any sense? Is your topic or the research problem make any sense? Is it really necessary? Why it is important? All these answers, questions, these questions answers you may get from the review of literature. How it is a novel, okay, or is it justifiable? Okay, then set boundaries. You can set boundaries, that is determine the scope and specific objectives. Okay, so those are the purposes of review of literature. Okay, these are the purposes. Next, sources of literature review. What are the sources from where you will find this literature review? Okay, primary sources and secondary sources. Two types of sources are there. Okay, primary sources are provide first hand information. Okay, primary, that's why they are called primary sources. They provide first hand information that is closer to the object of the study, very related to your study topic. Example, speeches about your topic, speeches, any letters, diaries written by any previous researchers, autobiographies, interviews, official reports by any government or any organization, court records, artifacts, photographs like proofs for your study, and any drawings are already there. Okay. Secondary sources are that provide non-original and second-hand information because it is also written by some other person. Okay, they are the second-hand information. Example, research summaries written in textbooks because it is written by the author. Okay, not the directly researcher, written by the author in the textbooks. And newspapers. Some news editors will write articles in the newspapers, biographies, and critical studies of an author's work. Some other will write, do the work, their study they will read, and from that summary they will write, publish in some books or newspapers or some magazines. So those are the secondary sources, primary sources and secondary sources. Next, resources of literature review. Okay, you have just seen no resources of review of literature. There are electronic base. You may get review literature from electronic database, books, journals, conference papers. Some will present their research studies in conferences. Thesis books. After completion of your research in master's or PhD program, you will write a thesis. Those thesis books present in those university libraries. Then encyclopedia and dictionaries, research reports, magazines and newspapers. These are all the resources of review of literature. Coming to the first one, electronic sources. What are they? Computer assisted literature search has revolutionized the review of literature. Okay. Once the electronic goods have come, previously only books, libraries, thesis, newspaper, articles, photographs. These were the sources. As computers have entered, we have got the assistance from the computer assisted literature search, because in this you need not travel and go to the libraries and search for your topic. Sitting in your home or in your college itself, through computer assisted literature, you can even get the research studies done in around the world. Okay, in and around from the different parts of the world, you will get the literature, access to the literature. These searches, however, for a variety of reasons, may not provide the desired references. Sometimes this computer assisted may not give us the what actually we need. Electronic literature through web may be very useful, but sometimes it can be time consuming, because searching for it is very time consuming, unpredictable, because there are many web pages are there. Which one to search, where to search, that is again overload, information overload, and confusion will be created. However, currently it is one of the most important source of literature search. Okay. Still, we consider electronic resources are the very important sources of literature. Then general literature search can be conducted through search engines like Yahoo. Okay, you can use these websites. Okay, www.yahoosearch.com, Google, www.google.com, MSN Search, Lycos, Webcrawler, Alta, Vista, or Excite. These websites also you can use it. The most relevant nursing databases are as follows. In your syllabus also they have given. Okay, you can write about what is review of literature, sources of literature like primary sources, secondary sources, resources, the cycle which you have seen just now. In that electronic database resources, you can write this in all. Okay, cumulative, what is the full form? Cumulative index to nursing and allied health sciences literature. Okay, allied health literature, FinHal. You may get it as 2 marks question also. What is FinHal? It is an electronic resource for the review of literature, and full form you can write accessible at http://www.sinhal.com. You can go to this web page and type your topic in the search column. You will get many citations of nursing literature published after 1988. Only published after 1988. Those studies you will get. Even full text articles are also available in Sinhal Plus. A paid web page is also there. If you want to download their complete research study, okay, you can pay the amount and download the complete study. That is Sinhal, Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. Next, PubMed. It is most commonly, like if you type any medical related topic, you will get PubMed page very easily. Okay, and it can be used to search research abstracts available at pubmed.com. Medline. It is also usually used. Medical literature analysis and retrieved system online. Medical literature analysis and retrieved system online. It is another electronic source of literature review commonly used by the nurses. Okay. Then the National Library of Medicine provides free access to, that is Medline, through PubMed, available at www.pubmed.com or ncbinh.gov. This is a very commonly used. In your masters, all these websites, web pages you are going to search for your studies. Okay, very important. ncbinh.gov. Generally, abstracts of research articles are provided free of cost. Abstract is provided. If you want a full text copy, sometimes they are available for free. If you want, you can pay and download the complete study. Next, Cochrane. Okay, Cochrane database of system reviews. Healthcare related literature can be searched from the source available at www.cochrane.org. Okay, this is also there in your syllabus. Cochrane. Okay. ERIC. The ERIC database is the largest source of education information. A free search may be carried out at eric.ed.gov. www. Okay, as it is, if you type and search, you will get lot of research related information. Next, Registry of Nursing Research. Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society of Nursing makes this database available through its Virginia Anderson International Nursing Library. Okay, Access to this database has been redesigned and made easier for users to obtain evidence and scientific findings from more than 2,200 research articles and conference abstracts. They have collected and kept more than 2,200 research articles. The research abstracts are searched via keywords, author and title. You can, if you know this information, type the author name and the title of the research study. Free access to this database may be found by doing this. Okay, going into this web page www.nursing.library.org. Okay, this is access to the Registry of Nursing Research. Next, some online journals are there. Following are the website addresses for journals and magazines that are available online related to nursing. Okay, www.nursefriendly.com, nsna.org, healthweb.org, ispub.com, Ostia Index PHP, healthweb.org, browse CFM, gens.nursing.arizona, medbioworld.com, nursingworld.org.ogin, eknowledge.com, nursingweek.com. Okay, these are all the websites which you can go approach freely. Okay, those are the electronic database resources. Next resource is the printed sources. Printed research summary may be located from published abstracts such as nursing research abstract, psychological abstract, dissertation abstract, international masters abstract international, etc. References of the other printed sources may be located through indexes such as Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature, Nursing Studies Index and Index Medicus. Okay, these are all printed sources. You can search, you can buy these sources and search for your topic. Following are the main printed sources that can be used to review the relevant literature, like journals. There are several national and international journals which can be used to review the research articles. Name of national nursing journals. So every ING recognized nursing college will have a subscription of a national nursing journal, which is compulsory. Okay, for the purpose of research. Monthly or once in 2 months or 3 months, these nursing journals will come to the college. A copy of the journal will come so that all students and faculty can go through this about the research topics. They are Nursing and Midwifery Research Journal, Indian Journal of Nursing Research and Midwifery, the Nursing Journal of India, Nightingale Nursing Times, International Journal of Nursing Education, Indian Journal of Nursing Studies. Next, names of international journals. International journals also, according to INC, each college should subscribe at least one or two international journals of nursing also. They are Nursing Research, Research in Nursing and Health, Nursing Services Quarterly, Sciences Quarterly, Western Journal of Nursing Research, Applied Nursing Research, Biological Research for Nursing, Advances in Nursing Sciences, Clinical Nursing Research, World Views on Evidence-Based Nursing, Journal of Qualitative Research, and American Journal of Nursing. These are all the international nursing journals. And apart from these sources, research reports written by the researchers, unpublished dissertation and thesis which are not published. Okay, magazines and newspapers, you will find some research articles, conference papers. In some conferences, researchers will go and present their research papers in the conferences and proceedings, encyclopedias and dictionaries and books. These are all the sources of a review of literature. Types of literature review. Traditional, four types are there. Traditional or narrative literature review, systemic literature review, meta-analysis and meta-synthesis. Let's see what are those types. Traditional or narrative. This type critique and summarize literature to draw conclusion about a topic. After reading the complete research article, critique where the researcher have done any mistake, they would have done in this way. Like that type of critiques can be given, and summary of the whole study. You can draw a conclusion about the topic. Systemic review of literature. Like this method uses more well-defined approach of the research, mainly used for making a complete list of all published and unpublished. You can prepare a list of all published research studies and unpublished studies relating to your particular topic, whatever the topic you have selected. That is systemic review. Meta-analysis. This type of review takes large quantitative findings and conducts a statistical analysis. Okay, it takes a large quantity of findings and conducts a statistical analysis to integrate those findings which enhance the understanding. They see the findings and check the statistical analysis to integrate those findings, which helps researcher to understand the analysis. That is meta-analysis. Meta-synthesis. This is a non-statistical method where statistics are not there, which is used to integrate and evaluate and interpret the findings. Okay, how the study has been done, what results they got, each and every variable describing that of multiple similar quantitative studies. So taking the same similar studies in large quantity to identify the common elements in all the studies, which is the common element which is being studied, which is the common thing is observed in those studies. Like that, analysis will be done. Traditional systemic meta-analysis and meta-synthesis. These are the types of review of literature. Next, steps of review of the literature. Okay, annotated right bibliography. You can see those. There is some problem in the slide. Coming to the first one, first step, that is annotated bibliography. Okay, researchers read the articles, books, and other types of literature related to the topic of research. Related to their topic of research, they study the articles, books, and other types, other sources, and they write a brief critical synopsis. After reading the article from different sources, they write a brief synopsis of each review. Okay, after going through the reading list, researchers will have an annotation of each source related literature, that is called as annotated bibliography. The reviews, critical synopsis of each review, they will write down. Next one is thematic organization, theme. Okay, thematic, they select a theme. Researchers trying to find a common themes of research topic and organize. They select a theme and from different studies, those theme related. Okay, organize the literature under these themes, sub-themes or categories. Okay, they divide into themes, sub-themes or categories. All studies which come under those themes and categories, they arrange. Here researchers try to organize the literature under these themes which related to each other and are arranged in a chronological manner. That is thematic organization. Next one is more reading. Researchers try to discover specific literature materials relevant to the field of their study or research methodology which are more relevant for their research. They select the more relevant to their topic of research, gather all those. They look for more relevant studies. They look for more literature by those authors, the same author, whether they have written any literature related to the topic. They gather all that information on those methodologies, etc. Also, the researchers may be able to set aside some less relevant areas also. More relevant, less relevant areas, they keep it aside. Articles which they pursued initially. They integrate the new readings into their literature. Whatever new information they read, they bring it into their review draft, reorganize the themes and read more. Like that, they whatever articles they come across, they do more reading, they categorize the things and they organize their studies. Next step is writing individual sections, writing each and every section, individual section. Researchers start writing the literature under each thematic section by using previously collected draft of annotation. Previously collected whatever draft they have, the list of all the research studies, they prepare a they start writing literature under each individual section. Here they organize the related articles under each theme by ensuring that every article is related to each other. Every article is related to each other, but they divide into different sections for writing purpose in individual sections. Next one is integrate sections. In this section, researchers have a list of thematic sections. They tie them together. Okay, list of theme related research studies. They tie them together with an introduction, conclusion. All the related studies they write with some introduction and conclusion, some additions and revisions in the sections to show how they relate to each other and to the overall theme. Okay, like this type of 5 sections they will Right, okay. They are, first one is annotated bibliography, thematic organization, more reading, write individual sections and integrate sections. These are all the steps of writing review of literature. Next, content of the review. How you, when you write your review of literature in your research study book thesis, how you have to organize the content of review. First, you have to write the introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay, any previous research study you take, in introduction what you write, what is their actual study, the problem statement, what, on whom they want to do the study, population, sample, sample size, everything you write here. Body, all the what research design they have used, methodology for analysis and everything. In conclusion, the result of their research study, what are the results. Like this you have to write the content of the review. You can see an example of good review. The victims of sexual harassment suffer a range of consequences, from lowered self-esteem and loss of self-confidence to withdrawal from social interaction, changed career goals and depression. So study on the sexual harassment and how it is affected, that is changing the career goals and depression. This study is conducted by Adam Scott and Padgett in 1983, Bentham and Thompson in 82, Zeich and Weiner 1990. For example, Adam Scott and Padgett noted that 13% of women students said that they have avoided taking a class or working with certain professors because of the risk of harassment. What is the result of their study? Okay, these people have identified, they noted that this is the result of their study. Okay, like this you have to arrange the review. In conclusion, today's video we have seen about review of literature. A literature review is an account of the previous efforts and achievements of researchers on a phenomenon. It helps to compare with other previous studies. So whatever your research phenomena, you will get help to compare with the previous research studies. You will get guidance from the previous research studies. And a good review of literature is the foundation for a good research. If you find a good review of literature, it becomes foundation for your own research, which whose result will be good. Okay, so this is about a review of literature. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe the video. Please follow all the videos continuously so that you will gain knowledge about research, nursing research and statistics. Thank you.